Tesla stock is in the green today by over 2% at the time of recording this video, which is very impressive when you look at the internals of the markets that are not doing that well today. And there is a massive rumor going around for Tesla stock in August 8th. Apparently, we may see the first licensing deal for FSD. Shay Bolor on X says this is huge news for Tesla shareholders. There are rumors that Tesla is licensing their FSD to Buick. If this is true, this will be the first of many OEMs. Now, this would obviously be a big deal and would explain partially why Tesla stock just continues to go higher. If big money already had a heads up of what we can expect on August 8th, I would expect Tesla stock would run up heading into that event, which is what is happening now. But Tesla's stock at the time of recording this video is finding a little bit of resistance around that 260 level, and I am expecting some kind of downside, some kind of consolidation before either earnings on July 23rd or before the Robotaxi event on August 8th. And at this point, let's be honest, it would be a good thing to get some kind of downside, reset the RSI a little bit, flush out some of the individuals that are just trading this, and get a little bit of a reset overall. It would give us more room to make an exceptionally larger run after August 8th, which I do think is coming, and subsequently new all-time highs by probably October. Tesla has apparently increased the price of the Model 3 in Germany by 1,500 euros. And yes, this could be accretive to bottom line margins. Jerome Powell today testified in front of the House committee, and these were some of the headliners. It says, Fed Powell, first quarter data did not support the greater confidence in inflation path that the Fed needs to cut rates. He also says a policy rate cut is not appropriate until the Fed gains greater confidence inflation is headed sustainably towards 2%. And finally, he says more good data would strengthen our confidence on inflation. And finally, he says we have made considerable progress towards the 2% inflation goal. Recent monthly readings show modest further progress. So it's not like Powell is jumping for joy that we're really anywhere close to cutting rates. It sounds like the Fed is still quite a ways away from having that quote unquote confidence to start reducing rates. Let's be honest, what's probably happening here is the politics are starting to get to the Fed, even if they won't, and they won't admit this, but they usually don't cut during an election year, especially not the 3 months before an election. The Fed just prefers to look as neutral as possible and to appear as if they're keeping the politics out of their decisions. So unless we see some kind of rapid deterioration in the economy or inflation that just outright plummets, which would probably go alongside an economy that gets dramatically worse in a short amount of time, then you're probably not going to see the Fed cutting rates, I would argue, until the day after the election on November 7th. Electrify America has introduced a congestion reduction pilot program at select locations. It says once a vehicle reaches 85% state of charge, the charging session will automatically end and drivers will have 10 minutes to move their vehicle before idle fees are incurred. Porsche will reportedly cut Taycan production output. The U.S. government has purchased a new Tesla Model 3 for its GSA, General Services Agency fleet, which provides reliable, low-cost vehicle solutions for federal agencies. Elon Musk says no Model Y refresh is coming out this year. I should note that Tesla continuously improves its cars, so even a car that is 6 months newer will be a little better. Chinese EV maker XPeng's new model due in Q4 will ditch LiDAR and move to Tesla-like Pure Vision solutions. The plan to ditch LiDAR in an upcoming new model is a major shift for XPeng. And it looks like Tesla has now installed their 2000th supercharger stall in Norway. Sawyer Merritt did something pretty cool here. Carl over on CNBC, great account to follow for hedge fund information, new notes, things of that nature. But on June 10th, he quotes Bernstein that says Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package is unlikely to pass the shareholder vote. If the pay package is rejected, the stock would likely be down potentially 5% or more amid fears that Musk might leave. They reiterated their Tesla underperform with their $120 price target, and obviously that was wrong. The vote easily passed with almost the same margin of positivity that you had back in 2018. And then Tony Sacconaghi just yesterday went on CNBC to say basically autonomy, robotaxis are many years away, that Tesla's not going to be the only one that is successful in this. And basically, if you're betting on Tesla stock now, if you're buying Tesla where its current valuation is, you need Tesla to be a winner takes all market for robotaxis. All of it just sounded stupid on CNBC. We talked about this in the last video. But if he's as wrong on his, latest thinking on Tesla as he was with the Elon Gom package, that can be damn bullish for Tesla stock investors. Yovol Network, a Shanghai-based cloud computing data center service provider, has partnered with Tesla to apply their Megapack energy storage technology at their intelligent computing center. This is pretty incredible. ESPN over on Instagram posted to their 66 million Instagram followers who got the best Cybertruck with all of your different versions of the Cybertruck being shared. Tesla China starts Q3 2024 with 6,500 new vehicle registrations. The Model Y has become the best-selling new energy vehicle in China in the first half of the year. It was 203,900 in the first half of 2023 and 207,817 this year. It is doing quite well despite fierce competition. And here you can see the 6,500 registration number. This is actually a super good number, despite last week coming in at 14,000. You would think 6,500, wow, that's a pretty crappy number. But in fact, if you take a look at 2022, there were only 162 vehicles registered in this same week, the 27th week of the year. Last year, there was only 3,200 vehicles that were registered during this week. And now you have 6,500. So this is the best week of the last 3 years for the 27th week of the year. This is a very low historical week for Tesla deliveries. A lot of that probably is because Tesla tries to push forward their deliveries into quarters. So that would make some sense. Overall, starting off Q3 on a very strong note. And this could also be part of why Tesla stock is up 2.5% today. It is being reported the Tesla Cybertruck will be at the 2024 Goodwood Festival of Speed in England for the first time, one of the biggest annual motorsports festivals in the world. This runs from July 11th through July 14th. Rimac has unveiled a special copper-colored Neverta for the company's 15th birthday, with a price of $2.5 million, a range of 205 miles, and a 0 to 60 in 1.85 seconds, a top speed of 258 miles per hour. Production is limited to only 9 units. It's also being reported that EV makers Lucid and Fisker are recalling more than 16,000 electric sedans and SUVs over power issues, which Fisker is bankrupt, so I wonder how that works. Tesla is now offering 0% interest rates in the UK. Tesla says they are making the Model 3 and the Model Y more accessible. Tesla short sellers have lost around $63 billion since the company's public debut in 2010. And take a listen to this clip that was just posted today.
Get a number from you. How much have Tesla short sellers lost since the stock made its public debut back in 2010?
Right now, it's above $60 billion. I think it hits around $63 billion as of right now.
So $63 billion. Is it just too expensive for anyone to be betting against this company, regardless of their fundamentals?
Well, short sellers have been up and down in this name over the past couple of years. It was the number one short in the market. Now it's down to number 4 behind NVIDIA, Apple, and Microsoft. So there has been a little bit of give and take in the name. But short still, this is like the OG short. Everyone's still in it.
Yeah, you are. That's what I wanted to ask you. Just how often do you see traders, investors shorting a name like Tesla? When you take a look at this activity that we see now, comparing that historically, is it anything really out of the ordinary? It doesn't sound like it.
Well, we are seeing some short covering recently. I mean, there's been a little bit of a squeeze, short covering going on, and it's a really important name for a lot of hedge funds because this is the volatility that people are looking for in order to make a good profit, or, in the name, because you can get big bang for your buck.
So I want to talk a little bit more about this because we have investors who come on and talk about the upcoming announcements that are going to come from Tesla and really continue to be bullish signals for the name moving forward. I'm thinking about the continuous bullish sentiment around the robo-taxi, for example. To what extent are those investors betting on something that is likely to become a reality for this stock versus just kind of a pipe dream that Elon Musk is more than happy to continue to fuel?
Well, Tesla's always had some, manufacturing, possibilities where they're growing their different type of cars, different type of services in their cars. But really, this name is not just a fundamental trade. This is a trade that's a little more technical market driven, because you've got a ton of long holders that are just Tesla forever, and really it's what the market is doing rather than exactly what Tesla is doing.
That's kind of a wild number. Tesla short sellers have lost about $63 billion since Tesla went public in 2010. Just for a little bit of context, that is more than the entire market cap of PayPal. Short sellers have lost a whole ass PayPal shorting Tesla. I also found it pretty interesting. He said that Tesla is only the fourth most shorted company now when it was number one, even though short sellers are getting blown out of their short positions. From the last update we have on Ortex, there's currently $26.88 billion currently sold short. You could add, we could do the simple math here, 106 million shares sold short. We could times that by Tesla stocks up about $7 today. That's adding about $742 million in losses. So you could consider maybe $27.5 billion currently sold short. That means short sellers have lost around $12 billion in just this latest rally alone. Wow. And Apple currently has $32.5 billion worth of short positions against it. Their short interest is now up to 1%, going from $18.5 billion sold short against the stock, up 75% now in 3 months to $32.47 billion. If we look at Microsoft, probably going to have some similar numbers here as well. Let's take a look. Yep, almost 1% short interest of free float, which is up 10% in 3 months. $28.81 billion currently sold short in the stock, up from $23.73 billion 3 months ago, or up about 21%. And let's look at NVIDIA. Ooh, haven't looked at these numbers in a while. You have NVIDIA with a dollar amount that is currently sold short of $41 billion. This was $24.25 billion 3 months ago, up almost 69%. You have a new 3-month high for the short position at 1.36% short interest of free float. This is a new 6-month high for the short position, I believe 12-month high for the short position as well. Just broadly speaking, throughout our markets, it doesn't seem like individuals that took on short positions in NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, or other stocks are in any kind of rush to cover it all. There's actually more and more calls from fund managers on Wall Street today of a correction that could be coming. And we'll talk about that more in the next video. But take a look here. Tesla stock is now above $260 per share, currently at $261 per share. It's being reported that Tesla officially gains approval to expand their German plant and will near 1 million EVs produced yearly. The approval reported Thursday by German press agency DPA permits Tesla to proceed with scaled-back expansion efforts aimed at doubling its current production capacity. Initially, the plans faced local opposition, but the revised version eliminates the need to clear approximately 250 acres of nearby forests. Option activity here today in Tesla is pretty good yet again. Take a look at some of these interesting trades coming through. This one is a September 20th 350 call worth $114,000, and there's many other trades that are notable as well. A lot of them are around that 260 level calls for anywhere from August through the end of this year. Now, if you take a look at the interesting flow sentiment today, you have 13 different trades totaling $4.43 million with a positive order value of 59%. Volume today, 65.91% calls and 34.09% puts. Over on StockTwits, the sentiment for Tesla is bearish at 30. Retail, still not that bullish on Tesla. Again, I think a lot of retail missed out on the latest rally, and they're pretty mad over that. Message volume is high today at 56, and the participation ratio is high today at 55. Taking a look at the broader markets, the Nasdaq is up 0.25%, S&P right behind it, up 0.21%. The Dow is down 0.11%, and the Russell 2000 is down 0.5%. At the same time, you actually are seeing the VIX up about 0.5% as well. The percent of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average is down yet again today to 39.28%. You currently have about 2% of all stocks falling under their 50-day moving average today alone. Google Trends data for the Tesla lineup looks quite strong. The Model Y going up 1 point from 26 to 27. The Model 3 is actually decreasing 1 point from 24 to 23, and the Cybertruck decreasing quite a bit from 73 to 69. At the same time, the Model S is going up 2 points from 10 to 12, and the Model X is staying flat at about 8. Full self-driving Google Trends data still sitting at 20, which is a lot better again than where you were before this free trial started, suggesting people are getting the free trial, they're maybe waiting until after the trial, and then they're saying, wow, well, I kind of want that full self-driving back, and going and resubscribing. At least that's what the Google Trends data would show, that likely the take rate is higher and continuing to be higher following that free trial. Global inventory numbers for Tesla have fallen sharply for the Model X and the Model S, down here at about 2,500 vehicles in inventory apiece. The Model 3 and the Model Y are right by each other at about 4,500 vehicles each that are in global inventories. And Tesla continues to run about 4,000 different ads with Google. Taking a look at the charts briefly for Tesla, Tesla's RSI is at 86.88. You are very overbought, but that does not seem to be stopping Tesla. I will also mention this has been a low volume rally, so it's been a lot of concentrated buying pressure and not as much selling pressure, not even close. So there's more room for more speculation, more FOMO to enter into Tesla stock and drive the price higher, even more shorts to start covering as whatever his name is, with S3 Partners said, there has been some shorts covering, but that's not really what has been moving Tesla stock in any kind of significant way. Short sellers have not covered on short positions, and that's something I expect will happen once Tesla's really above $300 per share. That's what's going to help push Tesla from 300 to new all-time highs by October, in my personal opinion. But again, to see a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a fall here, heading into either earnings on July 23rd or the Robotaxi event on August 8th would actually be good news from my perspective to reset things a little bit. The MACD line is sitting at 19.42, signal line at 11.76. Very healthy overall. And really, as long as Tesla stays above about 230, things look pretty good here. So now you have $32 of potential downside before things would start to look negative. So odds are things are going to be good for a while here for Tesla. And even at the time of recording this video, Tesla is now up almost 4% to $262.63 per share. So let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.